Emotions. They color our world with vibrant hues of joy, excitement, and love, while also casting shadows of fear, sadness, and anger. We feel them deeply, shaping our thoughts, actions, and destinies. Emotions influence every aspect of our lives, from personal relationships to professional endeavors. They can inspire us to great heights or lead us astray. The key to harnessing emotions lies in understanding their true nature. Emotions are valuable messengers, providing essential information about ourselves and the world. By learning to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, we can unlock their transformative potential, create a life of greater purpose, fulfillment, and success. Emotions are not to be feared, suppressed, or ignored. They are powerful forces that influence our lives. Embrace them to achieve your dreams and overcome obstacles. Think about how emotions influence your perception of the world. When happy and optimistic, the world seems bright and full of possibilities. Challenges appear as opportunities for growth. Interactions with others are characterized by warmth and kindness. When stressed or anxious, the world feels daunting. Challenges seem insurmountable, and setbacks feel like crushing defeats. Emotions act as filters, shaping our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. They influence the choices we make and the relationships we build. We are not passive recipients of our emotions. We have the power to choose how we respond to them. Develop emotional awareness and healthy coping mechanisms. Navigate life's ups and downs with resilience and wisdom. Emotions shape our world and our interactions. In today's world, mastering our emotions is a necessity. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is critical for success in all areas of life. Individuals with high EQ are more adaptable, resilient, and empathetic. They handle stress, navigate conflict, and build strong relationships. Emotional mastery is about understanding ourselves and responding to emotions constructively. Cultivate self-awareness, practice self-regulation, and empathize with others. Unlock your full potential through emotional growth. Create a life filled with purpose, connection, and fulfillment. Mastering emotions is key to thriving. Our emotions manifest in our physical presence. Our faces reflect the subtlest shifts in our emotional landscape. A genuine smile conveys warmth and joy. A furrowed brow signals worry or deep thought. Our bodies speak volumes about our emotional state. Confident posture reflects self-assurance. Anxious or insecure body language mirrors inner turmoil. Our voices betray our emotions. Excitement and passion animate our voices. Sadness or disheartenment softens our tone. The way we carry ourselves and the tone of our voice create a tapestry of our emotional state. Emotions are projected outward for all to see. Our physical presence reflects our inner world. Emotions are not invisible, they radiate outward. Meeting someone for the first time involves nonverbal communication. A warm smile and direct eye contact signal openness. Hesitant demeanor and averted gaze suggest discomfort. Nonverbal cues shape our interactions. They influence how we perceive one another and build trust. Aligning nonverbal signals with words enhances communication. Contradictory cues create confusion and mistrust. Master the language of emotions by being aware of nonverbal signals. Enhance communication skills and build stronger relationships. Navigate social situations with sensitivity and understanding. Emotions shape the image we project into the world. Consistently expressing positive emotions makes us approachable and trustworthy. People feel comfortable confiding in us and seeking our advice. Negative reactions create a volatile and intimidating image. Outbursts and negativity distance us from others. The image we project may not reflect our true selves. We can change our image by becoming conscious of our emotions. Manage stress, regulate reactions, and cultivate positive emotions. Transform our outward demeanor and create a positive impression. Emotions shape our perceived personality. We develop emotional patterns that shape our personalities. These patterns are influenced by upbringing, experiences, and beliefs. Some people are naturally optimistic and resilient. Others are sensitive and empathetic. Our temperament plays a role, but we can reshape these patterns. Understand the origins of our emotional patterns. Identify strengths and weaknesses, embrace vulnerabilities, cultivate greater emotional intelligence, break free from limiting beliefs, and overcome past hurts. Create a brighter and more fulfilling future. Emotional patterns shape our unique personalities. Emotions have a ripple effect, influencing those around us. Uncontrolled anger or frustration creates negativity. Words and actions fueled by intense emotions can wound others. Negativity spreads like a chain reaction. Calm, compassion, and understanding create positivity. Interactions become infused with warmth and kindness. Regulating emotions inspires those around us. Create a harmonious and supportive environment. Recognize the ripple effect of emotions. Make conscious choices about the energy we bring into the world. Cultivate emotional intelligence for the well-being of all. Emotional intelligence is key to meaningful relationships. It helps us understand and navigate emotions. Develop awareness of our own and others' emotions. Respond with sensitivity and compassion. Create a safe space for vulnerability and intimacy. Communicate effectively with clarity and respect. Foster trust, understanding, and connection. Lack of emotional intelligence creates challenges. Misunderstandings escalate. Unmet needs breed resentment. Prioritize emotional intelligence for healthy relationships. Invest in the long-term health and happiness of relationships. Build a foundation of mutual respect, understanding, and love. The path to success is rarely linear. It involves obstacles, self-doubt, and setbacks. Emotional intelligence determines our ability to thrive. High EQ individuals are resilient and view setbacks as growth opportunities. They embrace challenges with curiosity and adaptability, understand the importance of self-care and stress management. Emotional well-being is linked to performance. Prioritize activities that nourish mind, body, and spirit. Cultivate emotional resilience to persevere through adversity. Transform obstacles into stepping stones. Achieve lasting success through emotional intelligence. Life is unpredictable, with highs and lows. Emotional resilience is tested during adversity. It's about acknowledging pain and finding strength to rise above. Cultivate inner strength to weather life's storms. Build a strong support system of loving, supportive people. Practice self-compassion and treat yourself kindly. Embrace emotions as valuable messengers. Navigate challenges with awareness, resilience, and grace. Emerge stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Ready to embrace the next chapter with open hearts. Emotional resilience is key to overcoming adversity. Face life's challenges with unwavering spirits. Imagine your mind as a vast, ever-changing landscape. Hills represent joy, valleys signify sadness, mountains symbolize challenges, lakes reflect peace. Our emotional terrain evolves with thoughts and experiences. Navigating this landscape blindfolded leads to stumbling. Without emotional awareness, we are at the mercy of emotions, react impulsively, and struggle to understand behavior. Cultivate emotional awareness to see clearly. Recognize emotions as they arise without judgment. Understand the messages they convey. Navigate the complexities of our inner world with purpose. Emotional awareness empowers us to chart our course. Often, when we first begin to explore our emotions, we tend to rely on simple labels: happy, sad, angry, afraid. While these labels can be helpful starting points, they only scratch the surface of our emotional experience. True emotional awareness goes beyond labeling to uncover the deeper roots of our feelings. It's about asking ourselves not just what am I feeling, but also why am I feeling this way? Consider, for example, the emotion of anger. On the surface, anger might manifest as a surge of heat in our chest, a clenching of our fists, or a desire to lash out verbally or physically. However, beneath this outward display of anger often lies a more complex web of emotions, such as hurt, frustration, or a sense of injustice. Perhaps a loved one betrayed our trust, or we feel unheard and unseen in a relationship. Maybe we are experiencing a sense of powerlessness in the face of a challenging situation. By taking the time to explore the underlying causes of our anger, we gain valuable insights into our needs, our values, and our beliefs. We begin to understand the triggers that evoke this emotion, allowing us to develop healthier coping mechanisms and to communicate our needs more effectively. This deeper level of emotional awareness empowers us to transform anger from a destructive force into a catalyst for growth and positive change. In the heat of the moment, when our emotions are running high, it's all too easy to react impulsively. We say things we don't mean, make decisions we later regret, and potentially damage our relationships with others. This reactivity stems from our primal instincts, our fight-or-flight response that kicks in when we perceive a threat. While this response served our ancestors well in life-or-death situations, it's not always helpful in our modern world, where the perceived threats are often more psychological than physical. One of the most powerful tools we can develop in our quest for emotional mastery is the power of the pause. This involves learning to create a space between the stimulus, the event or situation that triggers an emotional response, and our reaction. It's about interrupting our habitual patterns of reactivity and choosing a more conscious and intentional way of responding. This pause, however brief, can make all the difference. It gives us time to acknowledge our emotions, to assess the situation more objectively, and to choose a course of action that aligns with our values and goals. It might involve taking a few deep breaths, counting to 10, or simply stepping away from the situation for a few moments to gather our thoughts and regain our composure. As we become more aware of our emotions, we may find ourselves feeling overwhelmed by their intensity. We may start to identify so strongly with our emotions that we lose sight of who we truly are beyond our fleeting feelings. This is where the practice of detachment comes into play. Detachment, in the context of emotional awareness, doesn't mean suppressing our emotions or denying their existence. It's about learning to observe our emotions with a sense of objectivity, as if we are watching them unfold from a distance. It's about recognizing that our emotions are temporary states of being, like waves rolling in and out of the shore, rather than defining characteristics of who we are at our core. When we practice detachment, we create a space between ourselves and our emotions. We begin to see our emotions as valuable messengers, providing us with information about ourselves and the world around us, but not dictating our actions or defining our worth. We develop the ability to experience our emotions fully without allowing them to control us or to dictate the course of our lives. This sense of detachment empowers us to make conscious choices about how we respond to our emotions. We can choose to lean into joy and gratitude, to allow ourselves to fully experience these positive emotions without clinging to them or fearing their eventual passing. We can also choose to acknowledge and process difficult emotions such as sadness, anger, or fear without allowing them to consume us or to define our sense of self. In today's fast-paced, ever-evolving world, we are constantly bombarded with information, stimulation, and demands on our time and energy. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of daily life, to prioritize our to-do lists and external obligations over our own emotional well-being. However, neglecting our emotions comes at a high cost, impacting our physical health, our relationships, and our overall sense of fulfillment. When we suppress our emotions, push them down deep inside, or try to ignore them altogether, they don't simply disappear. Instead, they fester beneath the surface, like embers waiting to be fanned into a flame. This emotional baggage can manifest in a variety of ways. From physical ailments like headaches, muscle tension, and digestive issues, to mental health challenges such as anxiety, depression, and burnout. Furthermore, unmanaged emotions can wreak havoc on our relationships. Outbursts of anger can damage trust and create distance between us and our loved ones. Suppressed resentment can poison even the strongest of bonds, and the inability to communicate our needs effectively can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and a breakdown of communication. Ignoring our emotions is like ignoring a flashing warning light on the dashboard of our lives. It might be tempting to try to silence the alarm, to pretend that everything is fine, but sooner or later, the underlying issue will demand our attention. The world we live in is in a constant state of flux. Technology is advancing at an unprecedented rate, industries are being disrupted, and the only constant is change itself. To thrive in this dynamic and often unpredictable environment, we need to develop a high level of adaptability, resilience, and emotional intelligence. Unmanaged emotions can make it incredibly challenging to navigate the complexities of modern life. When we are ruled by our emotions, we become reactive rather than proactive. We allow our circumstances to dictate our mood, our thoughts, and our behaviors. We feel overwhelmed by stress, paralyzed by fear, or stuck in patterns of negativity and self-doubt. Emotional intelligence, on the other hand, equips us with the inner resources to weather life's inevitable storms with grace and fortitude. It allows us to approach challenges as opportunities for growth, to adapt to new situations with flexibility, and to maintain a sense of perspective amidst adversity. When we develop emotional mastery, we transform from passengers on the roller coaster of life into skilled navigators, charting our own course with clarity, purpose, and a deep sense of inner peace. Imagine for a moment that you are driving down a winding road on a foggy night. Your visibility is limited, and you must rely on your headlights to guide your way. Suddenly, a deer darts out in front of your car. In that split second, you have a choice to make. React instinctively, slamming on the brakes and potentially losing control of the vehicle, or respond consciously, carefully steering the car to safety. This analogy illustrates the fundamental difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is an impulsive, often unconscious behavior driven by our emotions. It's like slamming on the brakes, allowing our fear to take the wheel. Responding, on the other hand, is a conscious, intentional choice based on awareness, consideration, and a sense of agency. When we live our lives in a reactive mode, we relinquish control to our emotions. We allow our circumstances, our interactions with others, and even our own thoughts to dictate our mood and our behavior. We become puppets dancing on the strings of our feelings, tossed and turned by the unpredictable currents of life. Proactive living, on the other hand, requires us to develop emotional awareness and self-regulation. It's about learning to observe our emotions without judgment, to understand the triggers that evoke them, and to choose our responses consciously. It's about taking ownership of our emotional well-being and creating a life that aligns with our values, our goals, and our deepest aspirations. Unmanaged emotions have a domino effect, impacting not only our own lives but also the lives of those around us. When we allow our emotions to control our behavior, we create ripples of negativity that can spread far and wide, affecting our relationships, our work, and our overall sense of well-being. Consider, for example, the impact of chronic stress. When we are constantly operating in a state of fight or flight, our bodies release a surge of hormones that, over time, can have detrimental effects on our physical and mental health. We may experience digestive issues, headaches, muscle tension, difficulty sleeping, and a weakened immune system. We may also find it challenging to concentrate, make decisions, or remember things. This chronic stress can also spill over into our relationships, leading to irritability, impatience, and a shorter fuse. We may find ourselves snapping at loved ones, withdrawing from social interactions, or engaging in unhealthy coping mechanisms such as overeating, substance abuse, or excessive screen time. Furthermore, Unmanaged emotions can hinder our career aspirations. When we are plagued by self-doubt, fear of failure, or difficulty regulating our emotions in the workplace, we may struggle to perform at our best, to communicate effectively, or to build strong relationships with colleagues. By investing in our emotional intelligence, we not only enhance our own lives, but also create a ripple effect of positivity that extends outward, touching the lives of our loved ones, our colleagues, and our communities. Cultivating self-awareness, the foundation of emotional mastery. Imagine embarking on a journey to a distant land, a land filled with breathtaking landscapes, vibrant cultures, and boundless opportunities for growth and adventure. Before you can even begin to chart your course, you need to know your starting point. The same principle applies to the journey of emotional mastery. Self-awareness, the ability to recognize and understand our own emotions, serves as the essential foundation upon which all other aspects of emotional intelligence are built. Cultivating self-awareness is like shining a light into the deepest recesses of our being, illuminating the often hidden terrain of our thoughts, feelings, and motivations. It's about developing a keen observer within, one who can witness our emotions without judgment, curiosity, and a genuine desire to understand the forces that shape our inner world. This process of self-discovery can be both exhilarating and challenging. It requires us to confront aspects of ourselves that we may have long buried or denied, to acknowledge our vulnerabilities, and to embrace the full spectrum of our human experience, both the light and the shadow. As we delve deeper into the realm of self-awareness, we begin to recognize the patterns in our emotional landscape. We notice the recurring themes, the triggers that evoke certain emotions, and the habitual ways in which we tend to respond to challenging situations. This awareness is not about judging ourselves or labeling ourselves as good or bad, but rather about approaching our inner world with a sense of compassion, curiosity, and a willingness to learn and grow. The practice of mindfulness, anchoring ourselves in the present moment. In today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, it's all too easy to get swept away by the relentless currents of our thoughts. We dwell on past regrets, worry about future uncertainties, and spend countless hours lost in the virtual realms of social media, emails, and news feeds. This constant mental chatter can leave us feeling disconnected from ourselves, from others, and from the present moment. Mindfulness, the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment, offers a powerful antidote to this frenetic pace of modern life. It's about cultivating a state of being in which we are fully present with whatever is arising in our experience, our thoughts, our feelings, our bodily sensations, and the world around us, without getting carried away by them or allowing them to dictate our sense of self. Mindfulness is not about emptying our minds or achieving a state of blissful serenity. It's about learning to observe our thoughts and feelings with a sense of detachment, recognizing that they are transient states of being rather than defining characteristics of who we are at our core. When we practice mindfulness, we create a space between ourselves and our thoughts, allowing us to choose how we want to respond to them rather than reacting automatically. There are countless ways to cultivate mindfulness in our daily lives. We can engage in formal meditation practices, focusing our attention on our breath, our body, or a chosen object. We can also bring mindfulness to everyday activities, such as eating, walking, or even washing the dishes, paying attention to the sensory details of the experience without judgment or distraction. Section 3. Rewiring our responses, from reactivity to conscious choice. Imagine for a moment that your brain is like a computer, programmed with a complex set of neural pathways that have been shaped by your experiences, your upbringing, and your genetic predispositions. These pathways represent your habitual ways of thinking, feeling, and behaving, your automatic responses to the world around you. When we operate on autopilot, Allowing these pre-programmed responses to dictate our actions, we relinquish control of our emotional well-being. We react impulsively, driven by fear, anger, or insecurity, often repeating patterns of behavior that no longer serve us. Emotional mastery involves rewiring these neural pathways, consciously choosing new responses that are aligned with our values, our goals, and our aspirations for a more fulfilling life. It's about transforming from reactive beings, tossed and turned by the unpredictable currents of our emotions, into conscious creators of our own experience. This process of rewiring our responses requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to challenge our deeply ingrained patterns of thinking and behaving. It's about practicing new ways of responding to challenging situations, cultivating healthier coping mechanisms, and learning to communicate our needs and boundaries with clarity and respect. One powerful tool for rewiring our responses is cognitive reframing, which involves consciously choosing to view situations from a different perspective. For example, instead of viewing a setback as a failure, we can choose to see it as an opportunity for growth and learning. Instead of interpreting a colleague's critical remark as a personal attack, we can choose to view it as constructive feedback that can help us improve our performance. Section 4. Embracing the journey, a lifelong pursuit of growth and self-discovery. The journey of emotional mastery is not a destination to be reached, but rather a lifelong pursuit of growth, self-discovery, and the continual expansion of our capacity for love, compassion, and wisdom. It's a journey that unfolds in stages, with moments of profound insight and transformation, interspersed with periods of challenge, setbacks, and the humbling realization that we always have more to learn. As we progress on this journey, we may find ourselves cycling through different phases of growth. There may be times when we feel a surge of motivation and inspiration, eager to dive headfirst into new practices and embrace the transformative power of emotional intelligence. There may also be times when we feel discouraged, overwhelmed, or tempted to revert to old, familiar patterns of thinking and behaving. It's essential during these times to remember that setbacks are an inevitable part of the growth process. Just as a gardener tends to their plants with care and attention, nurturing them through periods of drought, storms, and the occasional infestation, we must learn to tend to our own emotional well-being with compassion, patience, and a willingness to embrace the full cycle of growth, decay, and renewal. The most important thing is to approach this journey with a sense of curiosity, openness, and a deep belief in our own capacity for transformation. As we cultivate self-awareness, practice mindfulness, and rewire our responses, we open ourselves to a world of possibilities, a world in which we are no longer at the mercy of our emotions, but rather empowered to create a life of greater purpose, fulfillment, and connection. Section 1. The Path to a Fulfilling Life. As we've explored throughout this journey into the depths of human emotions, one resounding truth emerges. Mastering our emotions is not merely a pathway to success, but a pathway to a truly fulfilling life. It's about crafting a life where we respond with intention, where our actions are guided by wisdom rather than impulsivity, and where our interactions with the world are infused with empathy and understanding. Think of those individuals who radiate a quiet strength, who navigate life's complexities with grace and composure. They don't deny or suppress their emotions. Rather, they've learned to dance with them, to harness their power for good. These individuals understand that emotional intelligence is not about achieving some unattainable state of perpetual bliss, but about developing the capacity to weather life's storms with resilience, to find moments of joy amidst the challenges, and to connect with others on a deeper, more meaningful level. This is the promise of emotional mastery, to live a life where we are no longer at war with ourselves, where we embrace the full spectrum of our human experience with compassion and courage. It's about showing up each day with an open heart, a clear mind, and a deep sense of purpose, ready to embrace the unknown with a spirit of adventure and a deep-seated belief in our own ability to create a life of meaning and fulfillment. Section 2. Embrace the journey. The journey towards emotional mastery is not a straight line. It's a winding path filled with unexpected detours, moments of profound insight, and the occasional stumble along the way. There will be days when we feel energized and empowered, eager to embrace the transformative power of emotional intelligence. And there will be days when we feel discouraged, overwhelmed, or tempted to retreat back into old familiar patterns of thinking and behaving. It's during these challenging moments that we must remind ourselves that setbacks are not failures, but rather opportunities for growth and learning. Each time we stumble, each time we find ourselves reacting in ways that no longer serve us, we are presented with a valuable opportunity to pause, to reflect, and to make a conscious choice to do things differently. So, embrace the journey, with all its twists and turns, its highs and lows. Be kind to yourself along the way, celebrating your victories, learning from your mistakes, and remembering that you are not alone in this endeavor. There is a vast and supportive community of fellow travelers walking this path alongside you, offering encouragement, guidance, and a shared belief in the transformative power of emotional intelligence. As you continue to cultivate self-awareness, practice mindfulness, and rewire your responses, you'll find that the world begins to reflect back to you the inner peace, clarity, and compassion that you've cultivated within. And in that reflection, you'll discover the most rewarding aspect of this journey. Not just the achievement of success, but the unfolding of your true potential as a human being.